I'm David Gonzalez.
And I'm Christy Gonzalez.
And we're the owners of the Academy of Hair Design and Bavel Barber School.
So I grew up in a family of hairdressers, barbers, and cosmetologists. My father went to barber school, got his barber license so that he could get through college. He studied education in college, but realized that his passion was in barbering and he could make more money doing that.
At the time, I was making more money as a barber there at the campus than my professors were making. So I went to Chillicothe, Missouri, and I opened up probably the first unisex shop. That's what we called them back then. I grew that shop from just me answering the phone and cutting hair. Raised both my girls, including Christy, the owner of the school. After raising my girls in a Clipper, that was the name of my shop in Chillicothe, I wanted to go to Springfield and open up a chain of 9 hair salons.
Growing up around my dad's shop, Dad, of course, did my hair. I saw the money that people could make in one of the shops and they could, work around their school schedule. My dad said, why don't you go to cosmetology school, get your license, and then you can cut hair in one of my shops. So went to cosmetology school. So when I got into college, I worked at his salon that was right by the college. I went to Missouri State, and Dave and I met there. And that's...
Yes, we did.
Yes.
I saw Christy from across a sea of people
At a SIGUP party.
at a SIGUP party, and I caught eyes with her, and then I turned back to my guys and said, hey, there's a cute girl over there, and we all turned back and looked at Christy again, and at the same time, Christy and her little girlfriends did the same thing to us.
That was kind of embarrassing.
Yeah. Anyway, that's how we met. Jerry, Christy's dad, my father-in-law, he was an incredible both father figure to me and a business mentor. One of the things I love about Jerry is that he took calculated risk. He thought a lot about what he was doing.
So in all my shops, I had barbers and cosmetologists working side by side. I was looking at these girls and guys I was getting out of school. They didn't know the chemistry behind perms. They didn't know the chemistry behind color. They didn't know anything. And I looked at David and Christy one time and I told David, I said, hey, we need to open up a school to teach these people. Not only the skills, but the business part of it.
When he approached us to open a school in 1996, it seemed like it was a no-brainer because he had such expertise and he really needed help in starting the school.
So we opened up the academy right here in Springfield. My theory was the cosmetologists need to learn everything the barbers do and how to cut men's hair properly, and the barbers need to learn how to cut women's hair and do everything cosmetologists do.
And so at this point, the school in Missouri is a barber school, a cosmetology school, an aesthetics school, as well as a manicuring school. So we have 4 different programs under one roof.
We have a program for cross-training students and getting a dual license, barber cosmetology license. So it's a unique situation for somebody who wants to do both.
After being in the barber and cosmetology school business for about 10 years, we decided to get accredited. And that's kind of when we began to grow in terms of a number of students and really consider what it would be like to open another school. Meanwhile, Jerry decided that he wanted to retire. So in 2009, we went from being 50% owners of the school with Jerry to being the sole owners of the school. And that kind of began maybe a new part of our journey. We also wanted to grow, and we also wanted to put our mark on the culture of our school.
And I said, you guys will take this with your personalities and your love of people. You're going to take it to a level that is high as you want to go.
In 2015, we opened up a school in Austin, Texas. It's something we've thought about for years and years and years, and finally took the plunge, decided to do it in 2014, and opened up with our first class in 2015 with both a barber school and a cosmetology school. So in 2009, when Jerry began to take a step back, we really started thinking about what do we want to build on that he was doing well, and what do we want to do differently than what he had been doing. And about that time, we met Charles, the founder of a nonprofit called Africa New Life. Interestingly, Charles and his wife owned a salon for a brief period of time in Rwanda, so they had experience in that industry, and they had actually tried to operate a school in their nonprofit in Rwanda before, but it just didn't work. And so we started talking about that and dreaming about that, and we decided that we should first go to Rwanda and just see it, and kind of put your feet on the ground of this country. And for us, as people of faith, pray and wonder, is this what we should be doing? And so we did, and we went around and talked to the people in Rwanda. We asked them how they got their hair done, who did it, how much did they pay for it. And the things we found were just really astonishing. For many Rwandans who went through the genocide, their educational program just ended. You had many, many students and many women who might want to finish their education, but literally they were at a 5th grade level and they were 20 years old. What they needed now was a job, was a way to make a living, was a way to feed their families. And so we thought this could really be a neat opportunity to help impoverished women basically have a trade. After that trip, we came back, wrote up a business plan, started formulating how we're going to do this. And in 2012, we had a ribbon cutting where we took our whole family to Rwanda and got to really celebrate the beginning of this school.
So one of the benefits of having the school in Africa has been the connection with our U.S. students to be involved in something bigger than themselves. Especially when we organize trips. The whole school, even those that may not get to go over with us, help and get excited. They sell t-shirts, they help with fundraisers, and it's just a really neat connection.
Students who really have no understanding or no connection to the lives of the students in Rwanda, and yet there's this bond of care and love, like this humanity that spans across the ocean. And it's been a huge blessing to our culture in the United States, how us being a part of that school has really affected and impacted the culture of our school, the Academy of Hair Design.
Locally, we want to be involved with our cities. One thing we're doing in Austin is we're partnering with Mobile Lives and Fishes at Community First Village. And we're starting a salon and barbershop for the friends there.
It's a beautiful thing about the hair business is that you have the opportunity to really impact someone's view of themselves and help them feel valued. We try to not only give that back to our communities that we work in, but really try to instill that into the values of our students as they go out and become professionals in the industry. I think the one thing that sets our schools apart is our staff, is their care, is their love, is their desire to help and to serve. That's really Christy and I's heart. We really want our staff to know they're loved so that they can love our students well. And we really try to hire those kinds of instructors and administrative staff that really get the heart is that we're here to care for these students. We're here to help them grow in their life.
I tell people a lot of times my job is to hire good staff and keep them. You know, we need to love our staff and take care of them.
One of the other things I love most about our staff is how often we hear from them about specific needs that students have and ways that we can care for them, like physically care for them, help them. What I think we're most excited about in our business is trying to mark each of the students and the staff that come to our business with what we really care about most, what we love, and what we hope they'll love as well. What that is, really is love. I mean, we want to help people grow as people. We want them to become who they're meant to be. I mean, I think we all have gifts and talents that we're kind of born with, that we grow into. And our job, our hope is that as the school's owners and kind of as the people that get to set the culture at the school, that we get to empower our staff to love our students so that they can experience and grow as people, as future professionals, and really unlock the beauty and the creativity and the genius that's inside of each of our students.
They have created this love of the business and love of people, and you're going to feel like family. That's the other reason too, that a lot of students would say, when I came into the school, I felt at home. I felt like this was my home.
I guess if I was to say what we want most for our students, we want them to have the best skills in the industry, and we want them to come out full of love and life for their clients, so that not only they're bringing that skill to the table, but they're bringing a full heart and a desire to serve.
I would say that the one reason you'd want to come to the Academy is it's the most well-rounded education in this business you're going to get. We really care about you. We really want you to do well. You know, I think we star in creating a culture of loving on people and concentrate on why they came to see you. If you can't tell, I have a little passion.